Hi, my name is Kate, and I donated a kidney to my children's elementary school principal. I thought about kidney donation until I received an email from the district saying that our principal did indeed need a kidney transplant. So I called up there, and I just wanted to find out a little bit more about the situation. And when I called the school, they said the list was actually a mile long, that a lot of people had called in to inquire about donating to our principal. Forward a couple months until May, and I found out that a donor had not been found, even though there were a lot of people that had signed up to go through the testing. Found out that my recipient's insurance tested one donor at a time. And the day I found out that she did not have a donor, something, for me, it was a God moment. I just knew that I was going to be the one. And I reached out to her and I said, hey, can we meet? I would love to sit down and talk to you, find out a little bit more. I'm interested in becoming a kidney donor. I wasn't really too worried about for myself physically. I knew I was in good health, and I just kind of had this feeling that everything was going to work out the way it should be. My testing did actually last a couple weeks, only because of my work schedule. And all along, I just got more and more excited. In fact, I would have been really surprised if I had not been chosen to be a match. So I was just getting excited as the process went on. And right after Labor Day of 2013, found out that indeed I was, in fact, a match for Nancy. And from that point, we just kind of had to figure out when we were going to do the surgery. She was not on dialysis yet, so we had the luxury of kind of waiting a little bit so we can see when we could make the surgery work for both of our work schedules. My transplant team was amazing. I had a social worker, I had my nephrologist, I had my nurse. Everybody kept me very well informed. I actually joked at one point that I felt like they were trying to talk me out of it because you know, they're required to give you so much information and let you know of all the risks that are involved with surgery and this kind of surgery. And I just, all along, I just knew that this was going to happen. We were going to go forward. I had an amazing support system. My family and friends were all very, very supportive of my decision, and they were there for me every step of the way. My mom came over every day that first week while I was home and helped me. My husband and my kids were amazing. My kids actually, one of my kids slept with me every night. She was so concerned, so that was really cool. It took about an hour and a half, and I only had to stay one night in the hospital. I was actually discharged the next day at noon, which was kind of crazy if you think about it. The best moment of my surgery was probably seeing my recipient out of the hospital and just to see how the color had come back to her face and just how excited she was for this next chapter in her life. And really, we've developed this just amazing bond since we went through this experience together. It's just been incredible. Suggested that I take a month off for the surgery, which I did. So, you know, the first 2 weeks, pretty slow moving. I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of pain, but they gave you medication to control the pain. At 3 weeks, I was up pretty much walking around doing my thing. And by 4 weeks, I was back to my normal routine. I was back in the gym, back to my old self almost completely. 4 weeks post-op, I was back at work, back at the gym, back to my old normal self. I am almost 3 years post-op. My kidneyversary is actually coming up in a few days, and I can honestly say my health is completely the same, completely normal. I have been for regular checks at my GP every year, and no different. I am in perfectly good health. One of the first questions I'm often asked when people find out that I'm a kidney donor is, oh, did you donate to someone you knew or someone that was a family member? And they're usually surprised by the answer of, no, I didn't really know my recipient that well. It was just something I felt convicted to do, somebody that I knew in the community. And you know what, if I could do it again, I absolutely would. Two things that surprised me about the surgery. One was how quickly I recovered. I thought it would be a lot more painful and it would take me longer to get back to my normal activities. I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to return to my routine quickly. The second thing that surprised me was, people thought that it was like this amazing thing that I had done and everything, and I never really stopped to think about that. I just, there was a need that I knew that I could meet. I could help somebody, and chances are that I was going to be completely fine afterwards. And I was just so happy to be able to help somebody in that way. About 2 months after the surgery, I just became really involved with different organizations. I just became a passionate advocate for promoting this. I thought, wow, if I can do this and return to a normal life, other people should be doing this. Why is there a shortage of living kidney donors? So I kind of set about awareness of this campaign, and as I said, getting involved with different organizations, National Kidney Foundation of Arizona, Donate Life Arizona, and just doing everything I could, talking and educating people on, kind of the process, and that, most healthy individuals can do this, and again, go on to lead perfectly normal, healthy lives. Looking back, the best part about donating a kidney for me would have to be the fact that I know that I helped extend the life of someone, and that person will have a chance to do things and see things and experience things that they may not have had the chance to do. What did I discover about myself during this process? Well, I've always loved helping others and serving others, and being a living donor, I guess, became kind of a big deal. I didn't know it would be. I just thought it would be something I would do and then move on to the next thing. But it did garner a lot of attention, and I realized that I have a voice, and I can use my experience to educate others on the importance of living donations. So as I said earlier, I'm super passionate about that, and it's given me the drive to want to do that more. The best advice I could give someone who is considering being a living donor is get tested. That is the first step, and it doesn't mean you are committing to this. It just means you are seeing if you would even be a good candidate to go forward with the surgery.